Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing? Option expiration Friday, sell off overnight. German PPI numbers were horrible. How is everyone doing this morning? Again, happy Friday. The week is almost over. Good morning, Rams of Fall. Good morning, Amit. Enjoy your day off. Good morning, Patrick. Hey, Lauren. Hey, Eric. Josh. William, already with the question. You show up after missing a few days and you just go bullish or bearish on the SPY? What kind of good morning is that, William? Hey. Waka Waka in for option expiration from a resort in Turkey. How is your vacation going, Waka Waka? Expect massive sell-off today. I don't know. We got a couple pinpoints. Morning BB. Don't know what morning BB. Thank you for saying good morning. All right, let's get right to it. But before that, please do consider subscribing, ringing that bell, and hitting that like button. Longer-term subscribers know what to do. Leave some comments and like the videos. Let's see if we can get this to 10K. Wouldn't that be fun? No, I'm still waiting. It's for next week. Good morning, Sterling. Hot. Well, hey, what's better than cold? Upgraded to the sandbox. Wow, from the cardboard box. Well, you must be doing well. Good morning, Options 22. All right, let's get to it. Hey, hold on. Good morning, Anissa. Thank you for tuning in. In short since yesterday. Wonderful. So, Barkin is speaking today right now. Don't see anything yet. Then we got rig count, so that's out of the way. So nothing besides Barkin speaks. Pretty red market so far this morning. Home Depot announced a share buyback. Remember, it triggered that sloppy head and shoulders and virtually went to the first target. FOMC getting back to close to 50-50 with the rate hike. And here's where we're sitting right now. Let's see. We got two pinpoints. 4250, 4300. It's going to take some work to get the market's just not making this easy. If we held up a little better overnight, 4300 was a key pinpoint. 4250 is the next key pinpoint. So we have those two key pinpoints. And as long as you don't drop below 42.31 zero gamma, although, gamma is going to change a lot today. So do keep that in mind. I just peeked in at John Deere, which was a pretty big down gap this morning, but that's where we sit. It's going to be interesting to see also in the S&P if we close below the wedge pattern, right back to the daily rotation zone. So finally reconnecting with the daily rotation zone on a multi-day pullback. So here, back to this pretty key level. This we're sitting at key support. This is where it gets tricky. I was going to focus on the 4300s, but now it's got a lot of stuff to chew through. Not getting interested from the long side until we can pop and hold 4258. 4258 is key. What's interesting, though, is if we are in sort of an advanced clear path move, but there's 4233 is the next target for that. Then we got 4224. There's still a lot of stopping points to the downside. So this is one of those days I'm going to have to gauge off the open. If we start breaking below 4242, 4240, 4243, 4224, we start getting above 4258. Gonna target back to minor would be 4271, major would be 4287, and if that can get taken out, 4300. So this is where, again, yes, let's see. Good morning, Chris. Ugly numbers from Japan and Germany. Yeah, especially from Germany. Good morning, Davey. What's happening, Chris? We'll get to that after something. Yeah, I'll take a look at that. Morning, John. Yeah, Bitcoin rolled over big. So, hey, Connor, we already know what TomTom thinks, so we don't even need to go there. If we do get some momentum to the upside, I mean, we could pin that 4,300. That 4,300 is a major gamma pinpoint, but it's now got some heavy lifting to do to get there. Uh, and the key thing is, let me get back to this with a little correction here. Again, I'm still watching for the secondary. When I start tipping to more bearishes after we get the secondary reaction. Right now, the 62.5 is 42.95. But the major key resistance based off the harmonics, if we don't push lower at the opens 42.84 to 42.95, if we push lower first, remember to drop your harmonics. But the non-harmonic level, if we do push down, then I'll be really watching, especially if we push down this 42.33, then I'll really be watching this 42.58 area because we'll have a harmonic there and that area. But that's where we sit right now. Going to have to watch especially the tick going into the open. 4 hour cycles getting to the bottom. Daily getting closer to the bottom, but not yet. We know where weekly is. Let's get to some of these other markets. NASDAQ, again, below the key support. Can't get anywhere bullish until we get back above about 13,410. And then we have to really start rallying, dropping this level back above about 13,452 before I start looking into this clear path move for a potential run higher. So we have some pretty decent overhead resistance. Still, my next support level, going to drop this just a hair probably. Let me look. Yeah, dropping this just a hair. About 13,327. And then major would be 13.2 on a down move. But it's going to get interesting still with OPEX. I'd love a continued pullback here and then a secondary bounce because we get a really nice potential topping pattern then. But right now, it's almost pointless to put on these until we get the open. 13.5 right here. But if this is going to push down, so again, above about 13,455 is the minor level to get choppy bullish. It's going to all still be gauged off the open though. Markets will only tank when Tesla tanks. It's not just Tesla. You need some other things like Apple. If Apple starts getting hit again, it's got a 7% valuation in the S&P, so you got to keep an eye on that. It's not just Tesla. So these mega caps have been holding it up again. The Dow, I don't know if I can get overly bearish yet today, just unless we break down with some momentum on the open given OPEX. And we're still at a pinpoint right now at the minor pinpoint for the S&P. 33.8 gets me minorly bullish in the Dow. 33.9 gets me substantially more so. We've key support. My next key support area coming in around 33.576 to about 33.6. Major areas about 30. Oh, oops. About at this point, I'm still thinking we might push lower on the open and then turn around with a little pop move. 33.9 is going to be an interesting level for the Dow. Russell, yes, you technically have a double bottom. Does it work with the targets though? And yes, it works with the first and second target, so we'll keep an eye on that. Again, that does not mean we are bullish yet. Key levels for the Russell is going to be about 13,984 to 13,987. If we can get through there, I'll be watching more for a run to 2,000. If we break down, we're sitting at key support right now, which the lows from Wednesday. We break below that, you are into a clear path move, and you don't have another decent stopping point, which is interesting. You don't have another decent stopping point till about 1953. So mind that in the Russell if it can get some major momentum on. DAX, I don't know. DAX trading back to key support. And the bottom of the rotation zone. So it's going to be real critical to see if it holds this level. Actually, to see if it holds 13,485 to 13,500. But I'm more, again, watching for the gap fill play, not today, but in the with this for beginning next week. Would watch for a minor break above this 4-hour high, though. 13,633. Notes pulling back to that close to that 50%. So it's again, it's hands off on notes still for the time being. Needs to put in at least the 4-hour cycles are now at the bottom. Daily cycles retesting another rollover bottom move. So we're going to be watching for a potential play in this next week, but nothing today. Crude, yes, this double is still in play. This is not big enough pullback to invalidate it yet. Short term, above today's high. It's really above yesterday's high. Then would make a run to 92.42, but that's the only setup that's potential. It's very short term. Bitcoin taking the dump move. Remember, we were watching this 22.6 with momentum below that. Now all this is resistance. So on any bounce move, 22.6 is key. But once we break 22,271, I'm not watching for that necessarily today. Then I'm watching for a retest of 19,419 and then the low area. And if you're doing the harmonics from the run up, key is 2435, 20,435. Let's see. The major index options expire, well, they expire at the close, but you can still exercise them after that, so it's not the open. They will crash the market next week at Jackson Hole. Jackson, well, I'm setting up for more stuff once OPEX gets out of the way, definitely. Then we will take a look at Tesla right now, Chris. The bigger thing with Tesla is, so far inside data yesterday was a pretty narrow range. Tesla looks like it's gapping down below this 906 level. Major support coming in at 866, bottom of the rotation zone. And then I will still be watching, not necessarily for today, but for this 838 double to trigger. So the double still is in play. As always, if we get a bullish move, watch for the gap fill. The gap fill back to that key support also where we closed yesterday, 906, 906.80, 907 level. So that's, if we do get a rally on the open, we'll watch for the gap fill play. If we roll over, you can keep an eye on 886. If we start breaking below 886, it's 865 area. All right, options 22 wants the Qs. The Qs. Well, we're still trading at the open 325.87, 325.82. Looks like we're going to gap down there to the bottom of the 4-hour rotation zone and the second double target. If the sell-off continues after the open 324.77, if we hold at the open, it's going to be a potential gap fill play. Everything's going to key off of how the first 30 minutes, how we open today. Minor, I'd just be using these harmonics too. Once we get the open, I'm going to roughly guesstimate it right now. You're going to be looking at about 326.80 and then 327.90 to 328 are the first two upside targets I'd be utilizing. Again, you start breaking below this 325.87 area with some momentum, 324.77. If it really gets a run on and we make that run with the S&P closer to 4,300, then I'd be watching for a substantial gap fill play with that. And I know I missed something from before. Eric wanted MSTR. Have some sold put strike at 300. Well, with that Bitcoin sell-off today, if Bitcoin stabilizes, the market can rally, it's going to get real interesting with those 300s because that's the 50. If the market stabilizes, I think the Bitcoin sell-off, this is so tough because it's pre-market and you're against key support, 295. Here's all I can tell you. You got your 300 puts. If the market can stabilize going to the open, I'd be watching for a rally easily back to that 300 area if Bitcoin stabilizes. You got major resistance at 307 today, though, and they expire. Would I be unwinding them? I would not risk this because they can still be exercised through tomorrow morning, remember. So anything above 300, I'd be looking, as long as you don't want to get put the stock, I'd be looking, and I wouldn't want to get put this stock with this, especially with the Bitcoin move today. I'd be looking to unwind it on a pop. You are sitting against pretty substantial support, though. You can see here, if we get to selling into momentum, though, I give it about 30 minutes. But I'd be watching. If that starts breaking down, though, that's going to be a substantial move. The problem is that Bitcoin move. Let me just take a quick look at Bitcoin. You're still the major holdings. So, you could get still a continued bounce with Bitcoin. If you get this continued bounce with Bitcoin, you could see MSTR pop back above 300. Where else do we sit? Yeah, we can look at the SPY. I can really focus on the open this morning. I wish the market was going to make it easy, but with this sell-off overnight, it's not. The SPY, and that's sitting right at the support back from the 17th. If you break down, I'd be using the 423 level, and that's the key support. So the breakdown target would be 423, which is pretty major support. Other than that, let's just take a look at this, because on a rally, your major resistance that it has to get above for a continued rally is 425.90. So if you're playing short term, if we get some bullish move on, you're sitting at a pretty substantial area of support, though. But if 424 breaks, I'd be targeting the 423 area. When I say break, I mean break, retest, and roll over. I don't just mean a quick dip below unless it's momentum. And if we hold this area, even with a slight little down and then a bounce to the open, I'd be targeting, if we start getting a rally on the market and the tick looks decent and the trend starts a holding, I'd be looking at 425.90 as the key resistance. You get above there, I'd start using your gap harmonics. There's a fair amount of choppy resistance in there. BBBY, this is actually making me sick to my stomach. Because of all the retail people trapped, and they should know better, or they're going to learn better. Because you not only have this, so you have Cohen selling, you have the CFO, and I hate the plans that these people put in place because they can cancel them if they don't want the sale. But the plan hit right before you announce you're doing major debt reorganization / possible bankruptcy or reorganization. That is, and you pump and dump it before this. If this is not, don't even get me started, but you sucked in all, I'm sorry, the bag holders And this thing, I'm telling you, this thing's going back to between $8 and $4 easily. Easily, not necessarily today, but easily. So any rallies are to be sold. Your key level was 1403 just from the technical perspective, but you have so much crap. You have so many people going to run for the exits now. I mean, some of the major selling's over. Now you got the bag holders, and it just depends if they're going to try to be diamond hands and run against a debt restructuring. But overall, this is going back between $8 and $4. It just, this is when you pump up intentionally. What Cohen did was absolutely disgusting in my book. And utilizing this stuff, utilizing the gamma squeezes in a shorted stock, knowing the information. There's no way he didn't know the debt restructuring was getting announced, the partnership with the debt restructuring firm, and doing the gamma squeeze and dumping all his holdings going into that is absolutely revolting to me. It's why I think these markets, and if the SEC doesn't get their friggin' head out of their friggin' ass, this is going to continue. And no, I don't feel sorry for the retail holders who are trying to make a quick buck, because that's why we don't do this stuff. Okay? But this just pisses me off with the overall structure of the markets. Because until this crap is cleaned up and the gamma squeezes right before Elon selling, or the gamma squeezes right before major bad news dropping in Tesla, is another crap that needs to be looked at. And if I can spot it and other major players can spot it, then there's no reason the SEC can't get their friggin' head out of their ass and do something about it. Because you're going to destroy the key fundamentals of the market. Sorry. I am friggin' pissed. And it's not about people being shifted to retail, because if you haven't learned your lesson, learn it now. Don't chase this kind of stuff. It's more so that these games can keep getting played. So, I'm sorry. And I'm sorry if you got sucked into this and trap it. You got to stop chasing this kind of stuff. Vertical up, vertical down. There's no free money. You got to time stuff especially right. You're welcome, Eric. And Cohen had way more information than the people getting sucked into this move. You're welcome, Chris. Never chase the vertical up like Mike says. Just discuss. It's, you know what? Yeah, Cohen made Elon blush with this move. I completely agree. Is the market shooting? Is the market breaking? I wouldn't call it. All right, we're back to this key level. So that's nice. Here you go. We're back with this little bounce in the open. So even on a pullback, pay attention, 42.58. And if it breaks above it, watch for a retest confirmation unless we get major momentum off the open. Watch for the break and that level to hold. That's the best. That's the safest play. I'm not trying to preach. I'm angry because I'm tired of this, people getting hurt. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. And that's why I'm not going to promote this crap. Because yes, you can time it and you can try to make some money out of this. And if you're an advanced player, you probably can make some money. But I'm not going to be on YouTube promoting this crap because it's blatant manipulation and scumbaggery. And I'm not here to preach. I'm just here to vet, because if this isn't cleaned up, you're going to trash the markets long term. And I would like an orderly and stable, more so market, other than a completely manipulated trash hole. All right, so that's this key. By the way, if it does pull back from here, here's your minor support, 42.51, 40 is your minor on the open now. So do mind that. I'm actually watching for tipping the slightly bullish mode going in the open. I agree. You had inside information, and you not only did you dump, you bought calls to gamma squeeze it. It was completely dirty. They can't lay it out any more obvious. His firm bought the calls. His firm sold the stock. He's on the friggin' board. Do you think the Fed is worried they have enabled the market to take on too much risk? Yes. I do think I think that they're actually looking at the liquidity that's not just from the meme phenomenon that's been brought on from this. Because there's the financial conditions have loosened so much. All because, oh, we're going to data dependency because they don't have a spine to say, hey, we got to really, Powell does not have a spine. He's got to step up next week and really, if he beats wishy-washy at Jackson Hole, watch out. All right, we're going in open. Again, staying above this level, keep that in mind. If we do pull back, unless we start getting momentum back below 42.51, I'm leaning to the bullish side. With that, everyone have a fantastic day. I'll see you after the close. Bye for now.